to another episode of Hugs Through Shrugs. I'm Kathy.
I'm Mary, and Hugs Through Shrugs is a charity that wraps love and support around moms whose children have cancer.
I bet you think we're in Newport. Well, we're close. We're on Block Island.
And Block Island is about 9. Now, we learned this by watching a video last night,
Yes.
so we can fill you in. So we are not experts, but what our little YouTube video man said was that we're about 9 miles off the coast of Rhode Island. So we are going to move you guys with us to maybe 2 other locations.
Right. It's beautiful
to do this whole episode, but we don't really know much about where we'll be taking you. So we're learning together.
Right, and I don't know if you remember in one of our videos last year, we wound up staying longer in Newport, so we came to Block Island last year.
Yep, it was when organizer of the Vogue knitting trip, and they were sending like 50 knitters to Michelle's shop. And Kath and I were going to leave, and we thought, how is one person going to handle 50 potential customers?
Right.
So we tacked on a couple of extra days, and we surprised Michelle and went back to help her. But yes, we had time that we didn't plan for, and we came here on the express ferry from Newport, which was a little bit different. We have a car this trip.
Right. So we can see more.
We can see more, and we'll share that with you. But when we came on the express ferry, the ferry docks like in that part of town over here, like we're half a block off of the main harbor area. And we were able to walk around the little main street and along the road there, and right up this hill is Northlight Fibers.
Right.
So a lot of the watchers who are knitters or fiber enthusiasts, Northlight Fibers has vended at a number of virtual events that we've also participated in. And we walked up there. But in August, last year in August,
it was like 1,000,000 degrees.
So hot. It was so hot. We wound up sitting, Kath, I can't see, but
it's right by me, right there. That tree has a beautiful bench. It was shady. It was probably the best spot on Block Island that day. And we found it, and we sat there in the shade, and the light breeze was blowing, and we were knitting.
I think it was like maybe an hour or 2 of our time here.
Oh,
so
nice.
when we checked in here yesterday and came out on this beautiful deck, we're like, oh,
there's our knitting
That's
spot.
where we sat last year. So we feel like this is home already.
Yes.
And speaking of home, we're staying in an Airbnb. That's it says on Airbnb, historic Mitchell Cottage, and it's owned by the Doyles. And Pat Doyle is a lovely host, and she greeted us yesterday. And last night around 5 o'clock, we took a big walk, like an hour and a half, and we did walk all the way up and around. And
gorgeous.
It's just so unusual to see such greenery.
Everybody waves.
Everybody waves. Everybody's waving to us.
Yeah, so nice.
And we're all set to kind of dive into the first segment is distribution for us.
Right.
And we take it very seriously when we get donations that you all put such time and love into. It's our mission to make sure these donations get to the moms you are making them for.
Right.
And the hospital, Ronald McDonald House worked for a while, and the hospitals worked, and then COVID put kind of a kibosh on everything. And then we developed the Momcology Connection, which is the national peer support group for mothers whose children have cancer. We're still with them, but our home run is in December. We connected with a national organization called Arms Wide Open. Your donations will always go to the homes of mothers whose children have cancer. That being said, it changes what we want to send.
Yes.
So we came up with this new idea. Our Shrug Hugs are now laced closed. We are wearing Shrug Hugs.
Yep.
They are 20 by 60 inch panels that if the right side's facing up and you arc it down into like a horseshoe shape and lace it closed like a shoe, leaving enough opening to make like a collar or neck hole. I'm not sure what you can see, but they wear like this. And I made these as a surprise for Kath.
And you start the lace down here and work your way up and put the bow up top here.
Yep. And it's really a short shawl, a weighty short shawl that's closed like a poncho.
And it feels like a hug. It's the weightiness of it that it gives you that feeling of like security and just a little love, and letting them know they're not alone, and feeling surrounded by people who care, that they know that somebody out there is praying for them and caring about what they're
not
going
invisible.
through. Right.
Because you do feel like everyone else has a normal life right now, and you're going through this nightmare, and does anybody see and understand what we're going through? So in that moment, they're getting this hug from you. This is our new design, and our distribution news is that we are now truly nationwide. We are shipping all over the place. So when you send to us, we are then sending elsewhere. Now, a simple shrug pattern is on our website. There's some information about the Shrug Hugs. We have updated that because we do still send care packages to Hasbro Children's Hospital,
Right.
which this loops back to why we're back in Rhode Island.
Yes.
The only hospital that we ship to now is Hasbro Children's Hospital. We are shipping to the Izzy Foundation, and they put a basket of our care packages in the room where the mothers who go in there for lunch or for a break can pick the Shrug Hug they like the most, and they get the toiletries and the bear for their child and the notebooks and all that. So the Izzy Foundation is receiving our care packages, and we are still in that one hospital.
Right.
And we are looking to build a volunteer base here in Rhode Island to pick up some of the slack.
Sort of like a second chapter of our volunteers.
If we were going to form a chapter elsewhere, it would be right here.
Right.
So if you're watching this podcast and you're in this area, we will cover some progress we've made with raising awareness here in Rhode Island in our next location.
Yes.
So we don't know where that's going to be. We're going to get in the car, and we can't get lost because it's an island.
Yes.
So you can only drive so far. But I'm curious to see where we'll wind up.
Yeah, me too. So we'll see you soon. We're back.
And we are here at the Mohegan Bluffs, I think
Yep.
it said.
Yeah.
And
Overlook. Yeah.
we will we're getting the best angle we can with the breeze. We keep the tripod keeps flipping over, so we're trying to get a little bit of an angle for you guys, so there's something interesting for you to glance at instead of us. So hopefully you can see a little bit in the background, but we'll add some video and some pictures too, because it's really beautiful. And apparently there's all kinds of hiking and beaches, and it's just, I know it's off season, so it's really quiet now. It must get very busy in the summer, 'cause it's really something to see.
I'm sure it's a really beautiful. Maybe we can include a picture of the bluffs.
Mm-hmm.
I know Mary took a video, so maybe we can put a little snippet in. Really beautiful. It's so beautiful.
And like Kat started to say in the first segment of this, so let's say we were to build a chapter outside of New Jersey. Well, being that we have a hospital connection, we're looking for volunteers anywhere around the Hasbro Children's Hospital area. And we went, so you need to find a knitting community.
Right.
So we went to Skein Yarn Shop, and Lori, the owner, who's lovely and very supportive of what we're doing, not only has a sample of our care package. So if you live close by near East Greenwich and you want to see the care package, she has one in the shop. She has our little teddy bears, and you can see what a courage cape looks like. Mm-hmm. But also, we knitted up a Shrug Hug sample in her Universal Yarns Uptown Worsted Weight yarn. And it's double-stranded. We did the Shrug Hug double-stranded on a 15 needle. And that pattern is on our website. So if you live near Skein, you can go and buy Uptown, which not only makes a beautiful donation because it's a machine washable acrylic, but it's beautiful to make one for yourself or for someone you care about. I will insert pictures here, but pictures don't do the Shrug Hugs justice. You have to put it on and see how it lays on the body to really appreciate what the garment is. And Kath and I went to Skein the other day to see how Lori was doing. She has a box of our Shrug Hug yarns in our Warm Hug base, which we basically just sell our Shrug Hug yarns at New Jersey Sheep and Wool in September.
Right.
That's usually where we offer them. But Lori, to help raise awareness and funding, was nice enough to put a box of our yarn in her shop. And we do have a sample, which is the Josie Shawl by Kimberly McAlinden. And we have information about the pattern and where you can buy the pattern with the display. So that's in their shop. Now, we checked in, and Lori brought in another one of our yarns, the Fuzzy Hug, which is a lighter, more of a summer fabric. Again, we did the sample of the Josie Shawl. They're double skeins, our skeins, like our Gilded Age skeins. We design them, we plan on them being worked double-stranded. So the Josie Shawl in both the Warm Hug and the Fuzzy Hug are done on an 11 needle. So there's 2 Josie Shawl samples, 2 boxes, 12 skeins of our Shrug Hug yarns at Skein. But even the real jackpot of the day is when we got to Skein, we thought we were just going to buzz in real quick, visit with Lori 15 minutes or so, and then make it to a meeting we had at Rough Point.
But we lucked out because it was packed.
They have that giant table in the middle of their shop that Lori and Justine talk about on their podcast. There was not a vacant seat.
No.
They must have 20 ladies. We've never been in there where there haven't been
groups.
Every seat filled.
Yeah.
These are the nicest ladies. They love the Shrug Hug. They were so supportive of the mission, and everyone's saying something so nice to us.
And taking patterns and buying the yarn, with the intention of helping us out. So, it was just a very warm welcome and very unexpected and just really, really great.
As we're on the verge of crying because we're driving and getting lost and our day's getting thrown, boy, did it flip around.
It did.
Into such a warm memory for us.
So we got to stay and hang out with them for a while. It's really fantastic.
And we don't have our bearings 100%, so I'm not sure how long it takes to get from East Greenwich to Providence, where Hasbro Children's Hospital is, and the Izzy Foundation. But they're like, no problem. We'll get them there, no problem. So our intention, working with anyone around the Skein shop area, if we can find a coordinator, because Lori is running a yarn shop, and running a small business is not easy. Between the online shop and their podcasting and the social media and the customers, and their shop is busy all the time. So out of consideration to understanding the many hats she wears, it would be great if somebody that this mission resonates with can step up and be like a coordinator for us. And you can email us at info@hugsthroughshrugs.org or message us through the YouTube channel, and we'll get back to you. We just kind of need someone for quality control, making sure the Shrug Hugs are 20 by 60, somebody who has an understanding about how they're laced closed. And we will, for every Shrug Hug collected, we will ship the care package and the bag and the card. So when the care package goes to Skein, you're slipping in your handmade gift and writing your name and town that you live in on the card, and it becomes your gift. So we're really doubling each donation, making it a even more meaningful gift.
Right. And again, like we said earlier, the donations that go straight to Izzy are only reaching the moms that our charity intends to reach. So you know what you made is reaching one of these moms.
Yeah, working directly with a charity that's got a home base in a hospital. Now, if you're watching from outside the Rhode Island area and you know of a similar charity who, hey, I live in Texas, and there's a charity that also has a respite room on the pediatric oncology floor, we would do the same thing there.
Right. It's
just coincidentally the first hospital that we started shipping to also happens to have the charity that's right there in the hospital. So that really works well. But we need a little help. So that's just a way that we are building our volunteers so we could keep growing. And we are growing, and we're really, really excited. So that covers our volunteer how we're trying to build our volunteers. And at our next location, we will wrap up with what we're doing that's new for fundraising, and take you to a new location that we don't know what it's going to be yet.
Yep, it's a surprise for us too. See you in a few minutes. Bye. Welcome back, and the third part of our video is going to be discussing the updates and changes in our fundraising, and we are at the Block Island Southeast Lighthouse.
That looks beautiful, but we don't know any history yet. Maybe next time we come.
Yes.
But we picked this location. There are hundreds to choose from on this island, but it's the least windy here, and we keep having tripod blowing over. So we decided, okay, let's stop here.
Yeah.
So here we are, and our fundraising,
which we sell our shawls and our yarn, but we have made some new changes to our shawl line.
Additions.
Yes.
So a year ago, we introduced you to our Gilded Age shawl collection, which is a beautiful, like light alpaca and a sparkly yarn. In our 6 colors, our 6 Gilded Age colors, which is Breakers, Elms, Marble House, Rough Point, Belcourt, and Just Jackie, a color after Jackie Kennedy's wedding bouquet. So we have those 6 colors. Well, we decided to introduce a second weight for those people who don't like the halo, and it's a textured yarn, again with a bit of sparkle. And Kat, that new line is called
Ocean Drive.
So we have Bellevue Avenue, which was our first shawl, and Bellevue Avenue was the first street that was carved into the town to make room for these beautiful mansions. And then Ocean Drive is such a beautiful street, and we decided to name
which is like our favorite place to sit when we go to Newport.
Yes.
So that was part of why we decided to select Ocean Drive for our second shawl.
And how we would park our chairs in front of Jay Leno's and
actually stalking lunatics.
Right. So that has meaning to us. So we have Bellevue and Ocean Drive, and our shawls are the Bellevue Avenue shawls with the halo are at Friendly Harbor on Thames Street and Rough Point Museum Shop right there in the mansion. And our Ocean Drive line is going to be new in the Newport History Museum Shop, which is right kind of on Thames Street, kind of in the center of town, both Ocean Drive and Bellevue at Rough Point.
Yes.
So we have some nice locations and all over the town. So we kind of made that nice.
And both lines come in all 6 colors.
Yes. So this week, our little Rhode Island road trip, sisters retreat time, we bought Patterns on Ravelry, and we are doing sister sweaters. So we ordered some yarn, and we got together last week and we dyed it together, and we're doing the pattern this week. And this is a yarn we've never worked with before. We love it so much, we are going to add an Aran weight yarn to Michelle Brennan's yarn shop, Knitting Needles, 555 Thames Street in Newport. We are adding this new yarn in all 12 colors that we dye. And this yarn is going to be called our
City by the Sea
collection. So if you go to Knitting Needles, you will have our Gilded Age skeins, our Postcards from Newport skeins, our Knit Your Trip mini skeins,
right,
and
our City by the Sea.
And we're hoping to get those all to Michelle by the end of May. So that's a single skein.
Yes.
Most of our Gilded Age and Postcards are double skeins, and this will be a single skein offering.
And I believe there was 181 yards.
Yes,
180 something.
181 yards.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful yarn. Our hope is to finish these sweaters as fast as we can. I'm thinking,
Yes. Well,
give me 2 months, but okay. But and
as
if
fast
we can
as we can.
and then we'll show you our sweaters. We'll show you the yarn,
Right.
and if the sweaters are a fail, then we will.
Then we won't be showing you the sweaters.
we'll record from New Jersey Sheep and Wool in the beginning of September. So fingers crossed you hear from us soon.
So we hope you enjoyed the video, and I was just eating my hair because the wind is blowing it in my face. And we'll see you next time.
Yeah, thanks so much for watching.
Bye.